Coach Yesse. Welcome to my channel. If we've never met, it's very nice to meet you. I'm a certified nutritionist and a certified personal trainer that loves to eat a variety of food and not just your typical diet or fitness food. I like to experiment with family recipes and recipes that I find online depending on what I want to eat that week. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see what I'll meal prep next week. Today, I'm going to show you how to make my mom's chicken soup and how to calculate the calories and macros of a serving. It's one of my favorite recipes from her, and it took me forever to replicate it. And now that I have it, I make my own variations. I serve it with a side of tortilla chips, but you can serve it with corn tortillas, rice, or on its own because it's just delicious. You need chicken. I prefer boneless, skinless chicken thighs. My mom uses drumsticks, and I've used chicken breast before, but it's not as yummy. You'll also need potatoes. I use 3. My mom only uses 1. A medium onion, 2 carrots, 2 garlic cloves, a handful of cilantro, just chop it up, a quarter of a head of cabbage, and my mom's secret weapon, which is the Knorr bouillon. It's the tomato bouillon with chicken flavor. I have a really hard time finding it. I usually find either just the tomato one or just the chicken one or some from a different brand, but I really like this. This is real, like, mom's home cooking. This time I found the little cubes, fortunately, and it's because I'm almost out of this. This is pretty much empty. I just wanted to keep it to show you. All right, let's get to cooking. So you want to start by cubing the chicken and putting it in the pot. Now we're going to chop up the cilantro that has been rinsed and patted dry. Throw in a couple of garlic cloves that have been peeled. I don't even chop them because I actually like to be able to find them. I don't like little chunks of garlic surprise in my soup. I guess I could blend them or something, but I never have. Now you want to scrub your carrots and give them a good wash. Cut the tops and the ends off so you can weigh them. That was 111 grams of carrots. And now you want to slice them. And now you'll want to take the potatoes that you have washed and patted dry and weigh them so you know how many potatoes to log into MyFitnessPal later. That's 625 grams of potatoes. And let's chop them up. And if you want to subtract the darkened spots, you could weigh them and subtract them. And now it's time to chop that onion. Usually I use about half an onion. I cut it into quarters and then in half again. And that way I get little chunks of onion. If you like your onion differently, you could dice it if you don't want to eat it. If you don't want to find it in your soup as easily. But this is what works for me. I really like the big chunks of onion because I'm kind of weird. And now you want to weigh the onion. And this weighs, you can't see it. And I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Oh, I'm tearing. And there we have 179 grams of onion. And it's time for the cabbage. So I like to take the top layers off. And I like to roughly chop the cabbage. I'm only using half of the cabbage head. Otherwise, it's the only thing that fits in the pot. And that's 431 grams of cabbage. And it's time for my mom's secret recipe, the Knorr bouillon. It's tomato flavor with chicken. I threw in a cube, but now I'm looking on the box to see if there's an equivalent to the powder one that I use that comes in the little jar. And I'm going to throw in another half cube. It looks like each cube is equivalent to a tablespoon, and I normally put a tablespoon and a half of the powder one in a pot of chicken soup. And this is what the soup looks like. And normally I start on high heat to bring it to a boil. And now you want to stir all of the ingredients so that everything's really mixed well together. I'm using my favorite spoon that my sister-in-law gave me. It has a little indentation so that it can sit on top of the pot, and it's really sturdy, so it works when you're mixing a lot of ingredients or heavy ingredients. I'm setting a timer for 30 minutes because otherwise I'll go do something else and forget and burn, or it'll boil over. And now it's done and I can't freaking wait to try it, but I'm going to show you how I weigh it out so that I can measure it. Sorry about the lighting change. When I film at this time, and I usually do, the sun's really bright here, so it makes the filming, whatever I film, really dark. So I adjusted it, which makes it a little hard on the eyes and the back, but hopefully it makes it easier for you to see what I'm doing. What I do is I put a strainer on top of a big bowl, a big mixing bowl, and then I pour all the solids onto the strainer to separate the liquid from the solids so that I can weigh out the solids separately and get a more even amount in each serving of soup. And here we're going to weigh the solids in a different mixing bowl because I love making dishes. And the total weight of the solids for the chicken soup is 1,914 grams. And now I've grabbed 5 different containers and I'm going to divide the solid part of the chicken across the 5. So I divided that about 1914 by 5 and got 382.8, and I aim to roughly be within a couple of grams of 382. And now I want to line up all the containers and get them ready to add some liquid. And I'm less precise about the liquid than I am about the solids, since the liquid doesn't have as many calories. And I'll use a measuring cup to roughly get it about even. I'll do about a cup of liquid in each one and then sort of eyeball the rest of it. And there's 5 containers of evenly measured soup, or roughly measured. And now I'm going to show you how to calculate the macros of that recipe. So you'll want to open MyFitnessPal, go to the 3 lines up top, go down to recipes, meals, and foods, and you want to create a recipe. You want to enter ingredients manually, type in the recipe name, put in the servings. Since I'm the only one that's going to be eating it, I only put 5, but you could put the entire weight of the meal if you were sharing it with your family. But I'm just going to use 5 for once. I'm going to try the bulk import ingredients. I usually type in each ingredient one at a time, but I'm going to try this bulk import feature. I'll start with the most high-calorie food. Just kidding. It was 2 garlic cloves. It was 1.5 tablespoons of tomato bouillon with chicken. And that was Knorr. And then it was 602 grams of raw thigh. It was chicken, boneless, skinless chicken thigh. We had 179 grams of onion, 431 grams of cabbage, and it was raw. And 111 grams of carrot, also raw. And then 617 grams of raw Russet, potato, and that's it. We'll hit next. And then you want to look to make sure that these make sense. If you want, you can go in and open each one and just look at the details to make sure. Especially these higher calorie items. Yep, and that looks right, so you'll want to click on next and save. And each serving has 31 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat, and 33 carbs. And from here, you can just add it to your diary. We'll probably have it for lunch. There you go. Ta-da! And here's what it looks like. Freaking delicious. I love it with some thin, crispy tortilla chips. If you liked this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll get a notification next time I upload another video. Thank you so much for spending some time with me.